What is happening, guys? So, we have a little bit of a comparison going on here. I'm going to shout out Mr. Burrito Slayer. So I was checking out his videos and he was doing a Thor Razelvarg comparison, and that kind of inspired me to check it out myself because I'm quite proud of my Razelvarg build and Razelvarg as a champion himself. And I'm very much a pusher of Razelvarg as one of the best champions in the game. And when he checked it out with his build, he had both on the same team. It came out Thor absolutely stomping Razelvarg. Okay, so I was kind of like, wow, I wonder, I'll check out my build, see what way it goes there. So this is kind of a story in 4 pictures, and then we'll go through the builds at the end as well. We have Thor here, and we have Thor in we have Thor in this team. So this team is kind of standardized. It's similar-ish to a team that I use quite frequently, and is very stable for a full auto Hydra experience. And that's kind of what I've done here as well, is I've full autoed this. So all of them are compared across a full auto run. So this didn't quite go to the turn limit, but it fell just shy. It was like 950 turns plus anyway, okay? So it was almost there, enough that it doesn't matter. We have Necmo with 40 million damage. That's because he is built with Cursed Set, so he's getting Hex out there quite a lot. Lydia with 11 million. She's in Protection. She's boosting everybody else's damage. Uko is in Provoke Set, giving us Provoke, Revive, and Block buffs. Then we have Inquisitor Shamail in Guardian Set, keeping everybody alive. He's built with 0 speed to be a bit of a mischief tank. I was going to say mistress tank. And he is also built high res, and he is also giving us a bit of cruelty and keeping us safe from the Fearhead. Then Tila is giving us the AoE Hex, Leech, and the heals from Continuous Heal as well. So Thor then does 101.75 million damage. He's got a 5-star blessing, booked out, the whole lot. Phenomenal damage, really good. And that's all well and good, right? So I was thinking, right, well, if he's doing that, Razelvarg in my build is going to do much better. So I have my Razelvarg build here, and this is the run that I did with Razelvarg. So exact same team. Razelvarg is fully ascended, so a 6-star blessing with Crushing Rend, and he's +1. And he only did 58 million. He's also in 9-piece Slayer. He also has 300 plus speed, so he's going more often. And he's fallen nearly 40% short of or maybe just over 40% short, let's say, of Thor in the damage stakes, which also reduces Necmotar's damage because he's getting it from a Cursed Set as well. So I was like, wow, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So then I kind of thought to myself, you've ran them in the same team and compared. And by the way, I ran them each twice. I actually ran the Razelvarg one 3 times. And the reason I ran that 3 times was because it failed once. But I ran it twice and took the best score from each of them, which is what you're seeing in front of you. However, then I said, maybe let's try and look at what Burrito Slayer was doing and run them on the same team, because I noticed when I was going through the builds for these that I have a lot of backups. So Necmo, Lydia, Uko, and Tila are providing a lot of the same thing across the board. So I said I can take out one of these So we removed Tila and put Thor in and ran them together. And we have 234 million damage. Still on hard, still the same team. But we have both of them in now. Tila removed. Everything else remains the same. So fantastic. But again, we notice Razelvarg is almost 40% shy of Thor. I'm like, okay, yeah, so that must be just it. That he's 40% shy of Thor. That's it. He's just 40% lesser, even ascended and even empowered. And then I went, hold on a second. You've changed your team from what you used to have. You've no increase attack on here. And I took off my increase attack champion because I was thinking to myself, I needed healing for Thor and for the rest of the team. So I wanted the leech and the continuous heal on from Tila. That's why I had her. Then I realised Necmo had it. Then I realised Razelvarg has leech as well. So I kind of went, what else can I do? So I made another change that meant I have increase attack up on the team as well. So Razelvarg is getting buffed as well as Thor, because remember, Thor is bringing increased attack and increased crit damage himself. So he's buffing himself the whole time, and Razelvarg wasn't getting that. So I ran another turn. By the way, I haven't used any of my keys yet for Hydra this week, and I have run Hydra, I think, 5, 6, 7, I think 8 times so far. So I hope you guys appreciate this. Like and subscribe. So we have our final run here. We have 320 million, up from our previous one of 230 million. It did also go the 100 turns, or the 1000 turns rather. But you can see we took out Uko and put Lazarius in, and left him in Form 1 so that he would speed boost us and give us what do we call it? Increased attack. He'd give increased attack on everybody, and he would also supply the block debuffs and the cleanse and all the rest of it. So I thought he was a great substitution there. And look at what that does to the scores. So Necmo back up at the 47 million. He's kind of maxing out at that from the overflow from the Hex stuff. Lazarius, kind of in around the same as Uko. Lydia, 13 million, so she came up a bit. Inquisitor Shamail came up a bit as well. And then we have Thor and Razelvarg, both came up. So Thor at 127 million now, 348. And Razelvarg at 117.4 million, closing that gap with Thor. Albeit, Thor still is only in a 5-star blessing and has Soul Reap instead of a more damagey type of blessing. So it's not 100% like to like, but they're not the same champions, so they can't be like to like anyway. So Thor is still clearly the winner. The only other thing I could think of to make it more of an even comparison is to get crit damage onto Razelvarg somehow as well, but I'm not going to go that far. I think we've clearly shown how strong Thor is in that build. So that was the latest run there. We have 320.14 million on Hydra hard. I'm going to keep that result because we have to take the runs at some stage. Oh no, that's spinning a lot. So hopefully it doesn't crap out now. Anyway, there we go. It's gone through. That's always nervy when it does that. So we have that locked in, thank God. And let's go and have a look at those builds. And then we'll wrap it up, guys. And recently used. So we have our last minute substitution, Hierophant Lazarius. He stayed in Form 1. I'm not mad about this build, honestly, guys. You can see he's kind of in leftover gear for me. He's not, and look, he's not even maxed out on speed here. Let's bring that up to full. A little bit of extra HP there, and he's got his full speed going on. So that would have been helpful in game, alright. But yeah, he's in 4-piece stone skin. That's not going to help him out really at all. In Hydra, he has a good bit of merciless going on. And he probably should have a 4th piece there. So he is, like I say, in a hodgepodge at the minute. Stats, he's now at 242 speed. 50,000 HP. Sure, the defense isn't great. He will have more HP in whatever area he's in because of his passive, but his attack is quite low in that form. And he then has enough accuracy when he buffs himself. He buffs himself with increased accuracy at the start of his turn. So he'll buff himself and he'll be able to place his things on hard. If we went higher than that, we'd need more accuracy, obviously. Now, Razelvarg, he's the one that gets all the good stuff. He's a 9-piece Slayer. And that is, as you can see, he gets the 4 pieces. He gets the 20% per AoE attack. So 5% per first hit on each enemy, so 20% for that. Ignore defense on AoE skills and a chance to repeat them every 1 in 3 times. So that's really good. Stats for him are exceptionally good. 318 speed, nearly 6,000 attack, 5,781, 307 crit damage. Let's actually just look at Hydra battles, because I knew I had more. So 326 speed now, 322% crit damage, 5,872 and 404 accuracy for Hydra battles. So that's exceptionally good. Lydia, 9-piece protection, like I said, all booked up in skills. Stats, 289. We'll look at it under that lens of Hydra. 297, 70,000, just over 3,000 defense. She has a bit of crit damage there if she ever crits. She's not crit out. And she has her high accuracy to be able to place those debuffs. And she brings us the buffs as well down into War Master to keep her right. And she's also given us cruelty on everybody. Thor, we have in mostly Merciless, down into the Ignore Defense on Merciless, so 6 pieces, and he's getting all the other bonuses there. We also then have 2 pieces of Cruelty, so he's getting the Ignore, 5% Ignore on that, plus the attack, and then a little bit of crit rate from this 1 piece here. Now, looking at his stats, 291, let's bring it up to Hydra again. 306 crit damage, 7,500, 7,600 nearly attack, 243 speed, and enough accuracy to land his decreased speed debuffs as well. We could further his damage if we put in Wrath of God instead of, or Nature's Wrath, not Wrath of God. Wrath of God Gaming. If anybody played Idle Heroes, shout out Wrath. He was an excellent creator. Nature's Wrath there, buffs for, he would have been doing 15% more damage as well. So would have increased the gap between him and Razelvarg. So excellent stuff there. Masteries down into Helm Smasher again, and then the support tree, same as Razelvarg. Then we're looking at Necmo. He's down into War Master as well. We have him in Cursed Set, and these are his stats. Not too bothered about crit rate, crit damage. Bit of survivability going on. Some good speed at 259 and enough accuracy to land his debuffs is exactly what we want. And finally, Shaman, very survivable. 76,000 HP. Defense is a little low, and then 512 resistance. to be able to mischief tank as well, because he's built very slow. So he'll take a bit of damage absorption for us. Need to level up some of this gear, but he does the job on the lower levels anyway. Masteries, he has none, and he has the Cruelty Blessing to get some more decreased defense out there. So that is the 6 builds. That is the outcome of the testing. So we need to get a little bit more parity. We need to maybe check it next rotation with Thor in Nature's Wrath. And we also need to find a way to get increased attack and increased crit damage across the board in a way that makes sense. I know we could, there's a couple of ally attack champions that we could use to get it on there, and there are different champions that'll do it, but it has to be a way that makes sense for a full auto team to give us an even keel across the place. So that'll be the next one, guys. Guys, thanks very much for joining me for that. I enjoyed doing that comparison, opened my eyes. Thanks very much, Mr. Burrito Slayer, for doing that and inspiring me to check out some of the stuff on my own teams as well. And guys, like and subscribe, do something, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.